Welcome to another episode and an edition of Louisiana Catalyst, The Link. I'm your co-host, Duran Talley, Vice President of Louisiana Catalyst, here with our president, my good friend, my brother, Mr. Quentin Durr.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Doing well.
And we're here with Monroe City Council person and former chairperson of the council, entrepreneur, community leader, and influencer, Mr. Carday Marshall.
How's it going? Thank you all for having me.
Man, so glad to have you here, man. You know, it's so important that we connect with individuals like you, especially what you're doing from an entrepreneurial perspective. First, we'll talk about you and your food truck, man. And, I'm interested in that. And I see you everywhere. I feel like every community event that we go to, we see you and your family. And not only is Carday running the food truck, but he has his wife and his children running it. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of that family business.
Man, most definitely. I mean, one thing that I learned coming up, because my family taught me. My granddad was an entrepreneur. He taught my dad and my uncles and cousins how to build houses. So I have an uncle that's an electrician. I have an uncle that's a carpenter. My dad did plumbing and AC. So I watched them. I watched them come up and just develop into entrepreneurs. And you have some that have their own businesses as well. Plus, my granddad, he started a transportation company. I don't know if you remember Louisiana Robinson Business College that was on Jackson Street. They did transportation for the college. But he drove buses for like 15, 20 years. So after that, he just started his own transportation company. So I came up around entrepreneurs. So it was in me, and like I said, I developed that characteristic, and just trying to pass that down to my kids as well. Just trying to inspire them to, not only just focus on, a job, but just be open to doing your own thing, and don't be afraid to do your own thing, and also making your own money, a positive way, to make money. There's a lot of things out there our kids can be doing, but to show them a positive way. To bring in cash flow and show them how to, do it on their own. I teach them the business aspect of it as well, not just, go in here and, do a funnel cake or do a snow cone or something like that. Mm-hmm. But my son, he's a cashier, so he knows how to exchange, funds and things like that. He knows how to use the credit card machine, things like that. So those traits, even with, education, we don't get a lot of that in school. So just coming up in that, in that environment, when he graduates, he's pretty much already has that, in him, so he could pretty much start his own business. Actually, they're starting their own businesses now. Wow. My daughter, she does painting, so she's putting her paintings on Facebook and things like that already, and she's getting a profit. The other day, we were in Five Below. She got a couple of the cell phone covers, plastic, just clear cell phone covers. She took them to the house. She painted them. Wow. She said, "Dad, I want to sell these." So we put them out there. Actually, we just sent them in a text message to the family. They sold in like 10 minutes. Wow. That's awesome. A small investment that she had from her own funds. She took the paints that she had at home, and just took it to another level. I never would even, thought of, just telling her to do that. So we can inspire kids in different ways.
Right.
We can inspire kids in different ways. And those are just some of the ways that we've been able to do it right there in the family. So, I mean, it makes a huge difference. But like I say, it came from my grandparents, on down, trickled on down to me, and I'm passing it down to the kids.
I'm glad you said that, because one thing I want to always point out is that entrepreneurship is hereditary, but it's also contagious.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't have somebody in your family, but you get around entrepreneur, you can catch that bug real quick.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But I'm glad to hear that, because a lot of people just don't talk about it. I mean, my grandmother's 92, and she was doing bookkeeping for the last 50 years on downtown streets of Natchitoches. And that's when I grew up, in the shops, walking. I walked with her one time from the carriage house with $40,000 in cash in an envelope, taking it to the bank to make a deposit when I was 7. I was hand drawing and selling my paintings inside that store at a young age. So I guess I should have said that. That was my first cash job. I should have said that in that last thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to remember that next time. But being around that, and then my dad, he left, started his own business. My brother's self-employed. Even though I work for Origin Bank daytime, I still have multiple businesses and initiatives like Catalyst, because it's just bred in me. It's hereditary, and you saw that and that influence. So I'm glad to hear that, and hope that expires and inspires somebody. But also, if you don't have somebody that was in your family, just get around somebody.
Connections are everything. And even with my mother does in-home daycare. So it's like you say, that bug is just out there.
It's contagious.
And even with my wife started off, we had a conversation, and she was always taught to, go to school, get a job. But as we started working together, we have all kinds of stuff. She does counseling. She works from home. She has Christian apparel and things like that. So she does T-shirts and embroidery. We have this wood carving machine that she carves wood, stuff like that. So yeah, that just kind of, like she said, I never would have thought that I would be doing this. She said, but as we just started going, it just kind of rubbed off.
Right.
And God told her to go into the Christian apparel, T-shirts, embroideries, things like that. She never had done that in her life. Mm-hmm. So she started from scratch, taught herself, and now she's doing well. So I mean, yeah, inspiration, and that's another thing that we do. We have this thing that we call Inspiration Station, where we try to bring the kids and provide them with resources, give them opportunities that they never had. So just put them in situations.
Right.
We're working on something now, a DJ workshop for the kids, and a free event. So we're gonna have probably about 10 or 15 DJs, and they're gonna just teach the kids the whole, from the business aspect all the way up to how to DJ.
I'll say this on camera: we want to house that here, at least one of those here.
Okay.
We want to be
I'll
a
put
part
that
of
on
that.
wax. I'll put that on camera. We want to host, because that's the kind of stuff we want to bring. It's technology and those things that are interesting. You know what I mean? We talked with Rick about hosting how to do a podcast and teaching people about cameras and technology and the culture of that and what the platforms you can do.
Right.
So teaching like DJ music is incredible. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And we were just talking about podcasts the other day, just different ways to generate income. And podcast is one of those ways that if you get a following, people start putting ads on your podcast and things like that, generate income. Right. A lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. So we have to, just put that information out there so they can know that, hey, if you're an influencer or speaker, there's ways that you can generate income. Multiple streams of income is what, God even, has taught us. So it's not being greedy. It's giving you what God, intended for you to have, so you could bless, others, and that's how we see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. Opportunity. It's a cycle of opportunity. When you look at opportunity breeds more innovation and ideas, and then in those breeds more opportunity. Right. And when you get in that cycle and you get that contagion hanging around other entrepreneurs, hanging around your children, you seeing your children, your daughter can go in the store and have that innovative mind, come back to the house, flip it into a profit. Mm-hmm. That's going to encourage you, your wife. Then you're going to go somewhere and tell somebody else. You're sharing it with us now. Yeah. And that's going to make it more contagious. That bug is going to spread. Right. But the big picture is it's going to drive this economy here in Monroe, here in Ouachita Parish. Right. From a preteen, is your daughter even a teenager yet?
She's 10.
10 years old.
Right.
A 10-year-old girl here in Monroe, Louisiana, is being a catalyst for economic development. Think about that. Think about how special that could be if others begin to tell that story, share that story, and then we all respond by being inspired and then taking action. And that's what we at Louisiana Catalyst, that's ultimately what we're here to do, is drive that conversation, drive that push, and then as the show we call The Link, be the link, right? And so if your daughter is already obviously in business, let's make sure we're doing it the right way, making sure that she's getting those technical skills of running the business, the administrative side, the operational side. She has the skill, the God-given talent to create. And so we definitely want to connect and link with you and your family I heard you mention about your wife doing embroidery, and I have clients myself that probably I need to be sending your way to get some shirts done, churches that need to get shirts done. And so the more we know, the more information we know, we all grow.
Most definitely.
Right.
Most definitely.
I've been hungry since we talked about a food truck,
That's
so
right.
I want to know more about that.
Yeah, we got to wait for the food truck.
What how did you jump in a food truck? Because if you're in the food business, you're passionate about food, because that's hard work.
I started off, man. I work with Aramark, so I'm in food service. I actually started off with Aramark on the retail side. Wasn't even thinking about food, but as I developed within the company, retail, we needed some help in the residential side, cafeteria side, and things like that. So I always been around food, just coming up, barbecues and things like that. I've enjoyed food all my life, but never saw myself going into that direction. But once I got into it, I'm like, okay, just kind of started dibbling dabbling. It started off with just snow cones, and I had Mr. Ted David Snowballs. We have a really good relationship. So I bought my trailer from him. He showed me how to do the snow cones and things like that, and but it had fryers. So he had once had the passion to do food and stuff like that, just kind of burned out. And he just kind of showed me some of the things that he was doing. And as far as the funnel cakes, they were doing like the frozen kind that just came in the box, and but they crumbled up and stuff like that. I'm like, nah. So and I'm a scratch kind of guy, look, I know people, my great grandmother and all that, they did everything from scratch. So I'm like, hey, I told my wife, I said, we're gonna play with this a little bit. So I played with the recipe. I've done it both ways, from a scratch recipe, and then you can get the you can get the flour batter and stuff like that. So needless to say, we do it. We do them all made to order, and that just kind of took off. They were like, oh, these are hot, fresh. I'm like, okay, right. So we started doing the funnel cakes, and just started kind of messing with toppings and things like that, and it just kind of blew up. So I just started playing with other stuff because I was seeing that there was a desire for it, for those things that we see at the fair and we don't get a lot. Right. So like I said, just started playing with that, and now I do chicken on the stick. We do we do funnel cakes, snow cones, corn dogs, chicken on the stick, chicken tenders, things like that. Wings. So just kind of things that you'll see in a fair environment. Pretzels, stuff like that. So but for the most part, funnel cake is what everyone looks for. Funnel cakes and the chicken on the stick, they they look for that everywhere we go.
Are y'all open? Like, where are y'all typically located? Hours?
So right now we're just doing we're just doing like festivals and events and things like that. So weekends, we do some football games and stuff like that, birthday parties. So just a lot of events right now. We're looking at doing it on a regular basis pretty soon. We're going to try to do some evenings, but right now we're just kind of hitting those events. So we'll be hitting some of MCAL's football games and stuff like that. So you'll see us on the weekends. Nice. Regular.
I know once the weather gets right, we definitely want to utilize the pavilion in the back to host seminars, and we'll definitely get with you because we'd love to have a food truck set up so that we've got food, we've got educational content, and all that, and just make a day out of it.
Nice.
And probably need to have some type of neighborhood event at some point. So
most definitely.
We'll have some type of business block party or something over here and bring you guys in. What we've done when I first engaged with Mr. Carday around the food truck, we had a vaccine event, and what I love about what they do is the kids love the snowballs, the snow cones, what have you. But like he said, when you get into those funnel cakes and some of those other foods that he has, there's not a whole lot of food trucks that has that range of variety, but still a simple menu that's effective, And so, I applaud you all's strategic approach to the menu we all know in restaurants you try and limit your menu to a certain amount of ingredients. That with these ingredients we can do a lot of things. But I think you guys have reached enough in each direction to be able to satisfy all audiences.
Right. Yeah, from food to desserts. You kind of have it spread it out to where I don't want any sweets, but I want something that's gonna fill me up. So we try to try to accommodate everybody. Even the kids. We do little chicken nugget baskets and stuff like that. So yeah, try to keep it get that McDonald's feel.
Right. Shout out to McDonald's, by the way.
Right.
Hey, I do want to give McDonald's a shout out, honestly, because for those who don't know, the local owner of McDonald's, which the fast food industry is getting beat up with workforce issues. So be patient with your people, please, because like Tony told us, there right now could hire 200 to 300 people today. That's the shortage. And so those ones that are showing up to work are probably aggravated, shorthanded, frustrated, and stressed out. So, but, to play even with a McDonald's, that they're a big corporation, the local guy that owns the ones around here, he actually gave us a location that's helped us get into Ruston and a supporter of Catalyst as well. So you never know what bridges help you build to the next step. So didn't intend to shout out McDonald's, but I always will, because Tony's a good friend and definitely has helped us grow. So another link to our chain, you know what I mean? So, and what Tony's great about is, like, entrepreneur himself is a resource and a mentor to someone like you that says, hey, I want to grow and I need to go talk to someone who has vast knowledge of the fast food industry. I've got a Titan for you to go talk to. So that's kind of our link in the way that we view this thing to work, is that we're all in it together, and how do we come up?
Those resources go a long way, and those connections go a long way, and that's what we tell people. The person beside you could be the person that takes you to another level, but if you never had that conversation, you'll never know.
That's right.
So you have people around here that have tons of ideas, knowledge, and wisdom, but they don't share it. Or we're so just used to, not opening up and engaging, that we don't get it, or we don't ask for it, but we want it, but that's the thing that we have to get out of. We have to, just think outside the box, get outside of our, just normal way of thinking, and tap into those resources.
Right.
And, like I say, even for the kids, that's what I try to do. I try to bring the resources to the kids, try to pump everything I can into the Emily P. Robinson, as much as we can. Rec Center's DJ workshop, like I say, is what we were working on. We did a sports medicine training about 2 months ago with Jason Donovan, that's over at Melbourne now. Amazing job. We had about 20 kids there. So sports medicine, athletic training, kids, in the neighborhood probably never would have thought about doing it, had they not been exposed to it, at that event. So all kinds of resources are out there. We just have to expose them to it.
That's right.
I love that, because you may want to be an athlete and you get hurt. That doesn't mean your career's over. There's so many aspects, but you can take your passion and apply that to sports medicine, coaching, all types of different things. Stay involved with the thing that you're passionate about. So I appreciate all you're doing in the community, because that opens eyes, and that's kind of what we want to do, is like, hey, there's so much more to everything.
Right.
So network. We talk about collaborate, network, be innovative. Those are some of the pillars that we stand on, but it's like those apply to your everyday life. So thank you for what you're doing, because that we're glad to have you as another link.
Yeah, no doubt. That's one of the things I always talk to kids about too, is just because you're not dribbling that ball or throwing that ball don't mean you can't be around the ball.
Exactly.
And so we talk about, being a GM, being a coach, athletic training,
marketing,
all these teams, the Saints, the Pelicans, whatever have you, they have an entire business side of still being around the game that you can influence and be a part of. And our children don't even think that far. I got to be LeBron James. I got to be Tom Brady. When it's, no, you can be the one writing the check to the next LeBron James.
You can be the agent.
You
can be the next person that, that saw that talent in someone and took them to that next level.
You can be a project engineer that developed the next stadium.
That's right.
Don't think that's what it's like. Man, there's just so many aspects.
So many aspects of the game.
That's right.
So I know we've covered a lot of stuff, and I know we we don't want to hold you all day, but I do want to touch on your work with the city. So if you would, let people know what district you cover and kind of some of the exciting things y'all have going on.
Well, I cover District 4. Pretty much, it's broad from downtown, Louisville. If you go down South Grand all the way to Vernon, right before you get to Swanson, and that comes back up to Jackson Street. Most of the number streets around the Civic Center. Let's see, the number streets up to about South 13th, 14th, and it comes around 8th Street, like I said, circles back around the Civic Center, City Hall area, all of that. That's
okay.
me.
How long have you been on the council?
2 years.
2 years? Okay. Because I will say this. I've seen a lot going on downtown last year.
It's a lot going on.
So you've been busy.
It's a lot going on. And not just me, like I said, and that's the thing. I'm just one person. I mean, you have a lot of people out there that are doing great things. Right. You have a lot of investors, a lot of people on boards that are, taking, and a lot of stuff is a free time,
right.
just voluntary time. So you have a lot of people, in the trenches that are making things happen.
Right.
I'm just one person kind of, just taking it all in, but I'll never take the credit for, everything that's going on, in the city. You have people as far as, even from down to the, to the nonprofits, your people that are kind of grooming kids and things like that, just trying to, make a way for them and stuff like that. So, you have people in the trenches that don't get, the credit that they deserve,
right.
that are, making this whole thing happen. So, yeah, it's hundreds, thousands, probably thousands of people that's
it takes a community.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's making a lot of things happen in the city, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes, and it doesn't matter, what background you come from, whatever your purpose is. If you walking in that purpose, we just have to support it,
right.
And that's the thing, supporting, everyone's vision, everyone's dreams, and their goals and ideas, and making it happen. And that's what's happening.
Love it.
Yes, indeed. Well, Carday, man, as always, man, always a pleasure catching up with you. We thank you for your time this morning. I know you ripping and running, wearing your many hats, but man, keep doing the family business, man. I'm inspired to keep pushing what I'm doing in my respective lanes with my family, man. Looking at folks like you all, man. So thank you for your time today.
I appreciate you all, and I know you're a man of God, and without God, we couldn't, do anything. So absolutely. I definitely want to give a shout out to the Most High for making everything happen, and appreciate you all for doing what you're doing here.
Amen.
Appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you all for tuning in to another edition of The Link.